Welcome back, warriors. Have you ever found yourself in a situation where forgiveness seemed like the most challenging task in the world? Or where empathy seemed to be light years out of your reach? If so, you are not alone. We've all been there at some point. And it's in those moments that the teachings of the Stoics can offer us a beacon of light. Today, on our Stoic journey, we will explore the invaluable value of forgiveness and empathy and how they can transform our lives for the better. Now, you might wonder, how can such gentle and compassionate concepts as forgiveness and empathy fit into a philosophy that values strength and resilience? Let's begin. 1. Stoic forgiveness. Forgiveness is a virtue that is rarely associated with strength, but Stoic philosophy teaches us that it is one of the most powerful weapons we can wield. It's not a sign of weakness but an indicator of strength and self-control. So, what does forgiveness really mean in the context of Stoicism? Let's delve into it. The famous Stoic, Seneca, once said, "Anger, if not restrained, is frequently more hurtful to us than the injury that provokes it." By forgiving, we choose to free ourselves from the burden of anger, resentment, and the need for revenge. Instead of allowing these feelings to consume us, we consciously decide not to let them dominate us. But how do we do this in practice? Well, the Stoics teach us that we should begin by acknowledging our feelings. It's not about denying the pain or anger we feel but accepting them and treating them as observers rather than allowing them to become our masters. This is the essence of Stoic self-control. By accepting our feelings, we can begin to understand that our emotional reactions are within our control. If someone hurts us, we can't change their behavior, but we can choose how we react to it. By taking a step back and observing our emotions, we can consciously decide not to let anger and resentment dominate us. We can practice forgiveness in various ways, and all of them involve a shift in perspective. We can try to understand the other person's actions from their point of view, or we can remind ourselves that we all make mistakes and that the person who hurt us is also human and fallible. We can also remind ourselves that harboring resentment and bitterness only causes us more pain. Of course, this is not easy. But like any other skill, forgiveness can be developed and strengthened with practice. And the reward is immense: the release of anger and resentment, and the peace and serenity that come with it. Now, let's move on to the second point. 2. Stoic empathy. If you've made it this far, it's because you understand the transformative power of forgiveness. Now, let's delve into the second pillar of this discussion, empathy. How does empathy relate to Stoicism, and how can it contribute to a better life? Allow me to guide you through this fascinating journey. For the Stoics, empathy is not just a feeling. It is a path to wisdom, a tool for navigating our relationships, and a way to cultivate our character. When we practice empathy, we put ourselves in the other person's shoes, trying to understand their emotions, motivations, and circumstances. This exercise in perspective allows us a better understanding of the actions and behaviors of the people around us. As Seneca reminds us, we are members of a great body. We are connected by common humanity. This understanding is crucial for practicing empathy. Why? Because once we recognize others as equals, as fellow human beings with their own struggles and suffering, it's easier to extend understanding and compassion toward them. But how can we practice empathy in our daily lives? Here are a couple of practices you could implement. First, try to actively listen to others. Don't just hear what they say but understand their perspective. Try to understand why they feel or act in a certain way. Second, practice the view from above, a Stoic technique that invites you to imagine yourself and others from an aerial perspective. This can help you remember that we are all part of a greater humanity, and that each person has their own struggles and challenges. Now, empathy is not just for others. It is also essential for ourselves. By being kind and understanding to ourselves, we can better manage our own emotions and reactions. This helps us cultivate self-compassion, which is essential for self-control and discipline. So far, we've talked about forgiveness and empathy as Stoic tools for a better life. But how do these concepts work together? How can they synergize to improve our relationships and our lives? We will explore these questions in the next and final point. 3. Integrating forgiveness and empathy. We've discussed forgiveness and empathy as vital elements of Stoic philosophy. Now, let's see how these two concepts can work together to help us live a better life. By merging these two powerful practices, we can develop a deep sense of understanding and compassion for ourselves and others. Are you ready to take the final step on this Stoic journey of wisdom? Imagine for a moment that you are in the midst of a conflict with someone close to you. In the heat of the moment, hurtful words are thrown like darts, and emotions run like turbulent rivers. In this scenario, it's easy to get swept away by the current of negativity. But what if you apply the Stoic principles we've discussed? First, you recall the practice of forgiveness. As the Stoics teach us, you have no control over the actions and words of others, but you do have control over how you respond. So, instead of allowing anger to control you, you choose to forgive. You choose to free yourself from resentment and take a step towards resolving the conflict. Then, you incorporate empathy. You try to understand why the other person acted the way they did. Were they stressed? Did they feel attacked or misunderstood? By putting yourself in their shoes, you can see beyond the surface of the conflict and understand their underlying emotions. With forgiveness and empathy working together, you can handle the conflict more effectively. You can resolve the issue without harming your relationship, and you can come out of the conflict with a deeper understanding and a stronger relationship. Warrior, I hope this journey through forgiveness and empathy has given you new perspectives and tools to navigate life's challenges. Remember, Stoicism is not a rigid and outdated philosophy. It is a practical and realistic path to a better life. If you are ready for this journey, if you are ready to face your fears and break free from the chains of your own emotions, I invite you to subscribe to our channel. We upload a new video every day to assist you on this journey of personal growth. So, warriors, I leave you with this thought. Every day is a new opportunity to grow, to learn, and to practice empathy and forgiveness. So, are you ready to take on this challenge? See you tomorrow, warriors. And remember, on the path of life, we are not alone. We are in this together, learning, growing, and practicing Stoicism.